Hey ladies, it's Katie from Katie Goes Platinum. It's been a while. I'm sorry I'm not more of a frequent YouTube creator. I'm still trying to learn how to keep everything in balance, especially since this lockdown started. But here I am because I've got something exciting to share with you. My friend Diana from Silver is the New Black on Instagram is going to share with us today her method for going gray in secret. It's called the dye strip technique, and I'll let her explain it because she explains it much better than I could. But it's a great solution for those of you who don't want to deal with a skunk stripe while you are growing out your gray hair from dark brunette dye. I mean, really anybody could do it, but for those of us with dark brunette dye, as you know, when you let your hair go gray, you get a demarcation line that can be pretty harsh. Mine was very harsh if you look back at my Instagram photos, but I was happy to do that. Not all of you want to do that. I get that. A lot of you are going gray during lockdown, and you're using this time to go gray when you're away from all the peer pressure of colleagues and friends and family. So if you want to hide your grays, even though we're in lockdown, this is still a good way to do it, because while you're on those Zoom calls, nobody will know that you're going gray. So I'm going to let Diana explain this to you. Please make sure to stay for the whole video, because the first part of the video is Diana explaining how to go gray with the dye strip technique. The second part of the video is me asking her questions. And the third part of the video is a little video tutorial that I appended to this video just to give you a quick rundown again of how to do it. Make sure to follow Silver is the New Black on Instagram and Katie Goes Platinum. I'd appreciate it. And please make sure to subscribe to this YouTube channel and click the little alarm bell to get notifications every time I post a new video. I haven't been very good about posting new videos. I'm still trying to get used to being on camera. I was a photographer for over 30 years, and I kind of prefer being on the other side of the camera. But a lot of you are asking me to do more videos, and I promise I will.
Hi everyone, my name is Diana. I am Silver is the New Black on Instagram, and I'm here with Katie Goes Platinum to talk to you about the method that I found on YouTube when I was looking to embrace my gray. And like many of you, I've scoured the internet for the best way, and all I could find was techniques to use highlight and low lighting, which does damage the hair quite a bit and can turn it, as I kept hearing this new word to me, blorange. You can cut it into a pixie or grow it out cold turkey. And I just figured there had to be a better way for me. And so I happened upon a video by Suzan Barnes, and she explained to me, very simple technique that was non-damaging. And I decided as soon as I saw it that that is exactly the method I was going to use. So what she did was she took a section of hair, about 2 inches by 6 inches, and what she did was, all she did was dye the roots, continue to dye the roots of the hair on that strip of hair. And then as soon as it's dyed, once it's parted and laid over your hair as it's growing out, it masks the demarcation line. Your hair peeks through the little sections of hair, this thinner section of the dyed strip. And up until that point, when I was trying to figure out what method was going to work for me, I was using, and I'm sure you may have seen, a L'Oreal root spray. The color that's best for me is black. I highly recommend it for the roots as you're growing out your hair. And as soon as I found this technique, I didn't have to use that anymore. And it was a very easy, smooth process and transition for me. I ended up having my silvers look more like peekaboo highlights, and I did not have an awkward stage in the grow out of my hair. Now, now that I'm ready to grow out this strip, you ask, well, what do you do now? Now you've grown out your gray. Now you have to grow out this strip. Well, all you do is you part your hair on the other side. Voila, where did it go? It's hiding underneath and just barely peeking through your gray hair. So that's it. Now my strip of hair is growing out undetected underneath my beautiful gray hair that God gave me that I am embracing and that I love. And that is the technique that I used.
So, just to make sure I understand, you dyed that hair and then you are parting it so that the dark black hair is covering all the gray that's growing out.
Yes.
Okay. And then when you're all done, you flip it and it looks like you're already done. And
You flip it and
nobody's
it's
the
done.
wiser.
Exactly. The other thing too with dark hair is that you very rarely have much dimension to your hair. And the one thing that I loved was every time I would take a section of hair and curl it, I would get this dark light, dark light, dark light. And of course the gray would just go further and further and further down my head, and it made for this amazing, incredible dimension my hair has never had as a dark haired person my whole life. And so it actually made it really fun, a really fun transition.
Yeah, that does sound like fun. And it definitely is going to solve the problem for a lot of women who are very upset by their demarcation line.
Yes.
Personally, I didn't mind it as much because it was a sign of liberation to me. But so if you are a lawyer and you're up in front of your peers and you want to look 100% professional, a lot of women have trouble, growing out their grays where the demarcation line shows. So I think this is a great alternative. So now I'm a sloppy home dyer. So when you're dyeing at home, how did you protect your grays from the dye that you use on the strip?
So what I did is I actually spoke to my hairstylist who really guided me. She didn't actually do the dyeing or section off the hair for me, but she was a great guide. And she actually highly recommended that I use Vaseline on either side of the strip as I was dyeing it to protect and give a nice coat. And I mean, I put a lot of Vaseline. It was no problem when I shampooed my hair, and it shampooed right out. It wasn't greasy or anything like that, but it protected the hair very nicely as I was dyeing the roots of just that section of hair. Now, you can also go to a stylist and have them do this sectioning off of your hair if that is what you feel comfortable with. If you don't have, a friend or someone in the household who can help guide you as far as, dyeing it. But I was able to do it the entire time at home.
Oh, that's wonderful. Yeah, that makes things so much easier.
Yep.
And since a lot of us are going to be at home for a while, this is a good thing to know. So.
Yep. Being able to get into a salon is tough right now, and they are slowly opening, but it is a method that you absolutely can do at home with, of course, the guidance of a stylist. I'm sure that they'll be very supportive of you and your decision, and I wish you the best of luck.